thank you for watching and welcome to my channel. Today we are back with a story time slash kind of makeup review, kind of, because it's like a get ready with me. But today we are going to be talking about the time that I made a guy my biatch.
Not my stomach.
Today you guys are going to hear a story that is a perfect example of why you should be really careful in how you treat and talk to people and who you treat and talk like an a-hole, okay? This is why you just gotta be nice to people. Unless they're a-holes to you, then you come back with the same energy. But if they're cool people, like, this is why you gotta be nice, because you think you could be an a-hole until you find a bigger a-hole that really doesn't give a damn and will go all the way off limits until they get you back. And that was me. That was petty young Maria, who was still growing, making this grown-ass dude looking so stupid and feeling so stupid that he stopped coming to work for 3 days. You guys, let's just get into the story time, because like I can sit here and ramble, y'all. I can sit here and ramble. Let's get it. Okay, we're very up and personal now. I'm just gonna go in, guys. I'm already prepped and primed with my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and I'm just gonna go going with the primer because I don't feel comfortable just using that moisturizer. Usually I use serum and oils and all that, but today I got a lot of work to do, you guys. So going with this YSL blurring primer. I've been wanting to get the full size of this one because it's actually really good. By the way, you guys, excuse my nails. Like, okay, we are drinking iced coffee milk tea boba, which I already finished the boba. First things first, I'm gonna compare these two foundations to see if they're possible dupes, because I'm hearing of people saying that it's dupe. I already swatched the Milani foundation. Formula wise, I don't think so. And even though I took the online like shade matching test, they still managed to mess that up for me. Honestly, it looks dark enough for me, but like once you swatch it, it's lighter. It's just like this one. Now that, albeit they do have that in common, when you swatch it, it looks lighter. So this one, the way it swatches, literally, like, it's very effortlessly, like very like soft. It just glides on like really easily. Now what I noticed about this one, I swatched it and I feel like it's harder, like the formula, and it applies like a little more, like it's like a thicker cream, I want to say. I'm gonna go in with the same brush that I used for the Kat Von D one. We'll see, we'll give it a go. So the time I made a man my biatch. Okay, so yeah, this is gonna be lighter. It's okay, because we know how to work with that, right? Remember, we know how to work with that. I'm gonna be returning the lime creme lip gloss because I thought they were the extra large. Just received this 2 days ago. Look at how it came like this. You see the size difference? I want these. I like big tubes, so I wanted these. Those are gonna go back. About like 10 shades. I'm actually excited because like I ordered new lip gloss tubes for my lip gloss line, and they're pretty much like this. Like they're like those chubby ones, but it's gonna be like colorful lids. They are shorter. I was looking for like something bigger like these, but I couldn't find them. They're probably custom made, but I bought some colorful ones, and I'm really excited because like I have a whole new collection coming up, so I'm like super excited. But as you can tell, like me making my own lip gloss doesn't stop me from buying a whole bunch of other lip gloss, because that's just the psychopath I am. All right, let's get into the story time. So we're gonna go back to the time when I used to have 2 jobs. I was carless. My husband had just had an accident with, because we used to have a Jeep Libretto limited edition, and it was a Hemi. I don't know, I remember if it was a Hemi 5.1 or a Hemi 7.1. It was one of those two. I can't remember right now, you guys. Like, it was a very beautiful Jeep truck, you guys. It was freaking amazing, but it was a nightmare. Not only was the truck super expensive, and I still believe to this day that we shouldn't have gotten it at that time, because like we weren't financially stable like that to be buying such truck. Like, we weren't, and that truck was expensive all the way. Not only was the insurance super expensive because we were like super young. We were like 20, 21 maybe. It's not even funny. Like, that thing drank gas like a thirsty bitch. So bitch was thirsty and we was poor. We're still poor, but like at the time we were poorer, if that's even a word. No, it's not, but you know what I mean. Anyways, my husband had crashed it, and that's another story time, because that day was a nightmare. When I tell you I thought my husband was gone, I thought my husband was gone. So I was working 2 jobs. I was working my regular restaurant job that I worked for 5 years, and then I had gotten one that was about 15 minutes away from that one. We'll call my main job Super Burgers. So coverage wise, bueno, but not as bueno as Apple foundation from Kat Von D. So not a dupe. So I was working at Super Burgers, and we were just trying to make it happen. We were trying to get a car. We were fully in debt. We were like behind so many payments and stuff like that. Like, I can't remember what exactly, but I just knew we were in debt. We just owed everybody and their mamas pretty much. one of my coworkers from Super Burgers had gotten another job because she was actually, I don't know what she was trying to, she was like single with no responsibilities. I have no idea what the hell she was trying to like get extra bank for, but she was trying to get extra bank. And so at that time they were hiring people, so she had told my other coworker, she also went over there because she was trying to make extra bank for I don't know what, you guys. Can't remember honestly. Like this, I'm talking about, fuck, this was like 7 years ago, you guys. Like I'm not even gonna try, but I'm gonna go in with my Wet n Wild bronzer stick, and I forgot what, Oaks on You. I think the name is so funny, but it's like bronzer cream stick. Pretty much I use to fix any super light foundation. I also used it to fix the Kat Von D Fluid foundation that was too light for me as well, because I bought it thinking it was a concealer. So I bought it like lighter on purpose, precisely, but I made it work out. My coworker was working there, right? And I was telling her how I was like, you know, short on money. I was trying to make ends meet along with my husband. Like we were working together, you know, to make it happen. But like, for some reason, we're just not making it happen. And it was just weird because like we didn't have a car payment and we didn't have an insurance payment. Yet somehow I thought we were kind of worse than when we had the truck. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. I do have to point out at that time, we weren't so good with managing our money, especially me. Like I haven't, like I'm still not good with managing money. Honestly, like I freaking spend so much money. But like, the difference now is that like it's like if I had like multiple jobs, because like, well, YouTube, I'm not there yet, but like, as many of you guys know, I have my lip gloss business, and then I sell on pages, like on apps like Mercari, Depop. I sell stuff pretty much in the reselling business, and I'm starting my wax melts business as well. I have like multiple types of income, so I can like splurge if I want to splurge, you know? And it's okay because we'll be okay, you know? When the pandemic hit, I lost my job, which you guys know I used to work in retail, and I love my job, but I lost it, and like I had to find a way, you know, like I had to do what I had to do, and so, you know, business owner was pretty attractive to me. But at this time, I was young. I didn't know better. I didn't think about doing that before. So I decided I needed to get another job. And I was telling my coworker, like, yeah, you know, I'm just gonna have to get another job. I just don't know what. I don't have a car. As it is, it was already hard for me. Like I had to wake up at 4 in the morning to make sure I was at the bus stop at 6 in the morning, to make sure I got at my first job at 8 in the morning. Because that's how long buses take, you know, especially on weekends, you guys. Ugh. And so once I got to my job at 8 o'clock, I would leave like at 1:45, 2-ish, depending on what time I went into my other job. And I would just walk in. It was about 15 to 20 minutes walking. So I would just walk from one job to another with no problem, you know. Now, something I didn't do is tell my main boss, which was from Super Burgers, because that was my main boss, you guys. At that time, I was already in there working for like 4 years already. Like I wanted to, you guys, but because the burger places were like literally like within 5 minutes away from distance, like driving, boss was pretty cool, but like I just didn't want to risk it like that. Like what if he made me choose or something, and like I needed to make this money, like I needed to make this extra bank because I needed to help and get us out of the situation we were in. Like when you're in a situation where you're like broke and like you're not making ends meet, there is no time or space in your day to be complaining. Like you don't complain, like you don't just sit there and whine. You hustle. You get 3, 4, 5 jobs, how many freaking jobs you can get. You do what you have to do, you get me? And you guys, before, I don't like to be the victim. I don't like to be victimized, and I don't like to feel like I'm being victimized. So I was like, no, like I'm gonna figure something out, you know? That's why I got my second job. Things were better, honestly. Like ever since I got that job, things were way better, you know? That's how I was able to get another car, which was my red Camry that I was talking about in one of my previous videos. All hard work, and it feels so damn good, you guys, when you get into your vehicle or whatever the hell, like you're like, I earned it. I worked hard for this, you know? I feel so freaking good. And while my husband, like, he was working hard at that time, he used to work at this place called The Boiling Crab. And I'm gonna say the name of that fucking place because they fired him. It was unjustified, you guys. It was so against the law. Like, I swear to God, if they would have done that now with my grown ass now, y'all, lawsuit would have been happening by now. But we were so not, like, that's one thing it's so annoying. Like when you look back at the mistakes, like when you were messed over and what you could have done, but you didn't know better because you were so young and naive, and you know, you weren't trying to look for any problems or be a bother for anyone yet. But because of that, like, people take advantage. He got fired for warming up a soup in the microwave, you guys. And then you're not supposed to do that because like it's against health department guidelines, whatever. Like you can't get fired for that shit. Like, you know, like, God. Thinking about it stresses me the fudge out, you guys, because like, oh, I could have. Not a revengeful person, you guys, but when it comes down to injustice and shit like that, like so many people in my life, like everyone I have met in my life, they've told me that I have a soul of a lawyer and I should have been a lawyer. And I think about it and I think I should have, because I'm always trying to like, always standing up against injustice. I worked in retail for 5 years, you guys, and it was a company. It was one of the biggest, most known companies in retail. When I tell you guys, I helped a lot of people keep their jobs and pretty much guided them onto how to fight with HR. People there kept their jobs because of me, you guys. Because I try to know my shit, and if I don't, I'll research, I'll find out. I will investigate, read every single policy. I would read. Like, I will find you the tools that you need to defend yourself, or what types of documents or evidence you might need to gather up, you know, to win your case. And I did that. I did that for a couple of people. So when I tell you people there kept their job because of me, trust me and believe me when I tell you, like, had Boiling Crap fired my husband from now, there would have been a lawsuit, you guys. Like, there would have been a lawsuit. I'm not afraid of saying their name, you guys, because trust me, they have so much to lose if they even try. Like, they have so much to lose. I know so much shit from them. Like, they have so much to lose, so I'm not scared. And this is why I said in one of my previous videos where I was talking about how I was victim of fraud. When you, and not just me, you guys, if you ever think or you're trying to mess somebody over, make sure they don't have anything against you where they can just grab you by the neck. Make sure of that, because you can run into somebody like me. I am ruthless. I tell you, I can be an asshole, you guys. Not something I'm proud of, trust me. In fact, I didn't know this side of me until now that I'm older. I started to get to know myself more, probably since 26. I started waking up, you know, since I was 26, then came 27, and now that I'm 28. It's not something I'm proud of, but it's something that is very useful when you need to use it. Because people out there are just out there trying to get, like, take advantage, especially narcissists. Like, narcissist, oh, I love me, somebody who after they mess up, like, they try to victimize themselves about it. It's like, you're doing stupid stuff and you're trying to become the victim. Like, something you need to know about me, don't ever victimize yourself about a situation in front of me, because I will call you out. And so I get this job, right? First day that I worked there, it was fine. It ran smoothly. I just had to like get used to the ways they were working, you know, because everything is different. At this new job, everything was pretty much like handwritten. At Super Burgers, even though my boss had like his dinosaur times kind of registers, everything was like computerized. Like, everything was like typed. So it was different because like I wasn't used to like handwriting orders. Now remember that, because that's what's gonna come into play on how all this bullshit started, okay? Gonna go in with a little sponge, you know what I'm saying? I honestly liked the environment. It was pretty calm and chill. Like, it was a good thing for me, but not such a good thing for the restaurant. Now, this restaurant didn't have as much traffic for the fact that they were just reopening, actually, because there was a fire there where like the restaurant literally burned down. So they were out of business for 2 full years while they like rebuilt the place, you know? At Super Burgers, my boss had already been there for like 15 years. So like, he had it going, you know? And so this is the reason why they were hiring people right at the other place, because, well, they're really getting back on their feet. And so on my second day, I meet this other team, right? And so I met this girl. We'll call her Delilah. She was really cool. She was really nice. But she had beef with my coworker because, dude, like, it's so annoying when females get into, like, a controversy because of a guy that is clearly just there to mess around, and then they're both taken. And like, Delilah was married already. Like, I don't know what she was trying to do. And then like, my coworker over here was also messing around with some guys at my old job. So it's like, I don't know, like, and then you guys have beef over here for a guy who's willing to mess with a married woman and is willing to mess around with this other girl while he's messing with a married woman and messing elsewhere, God knows where. I was cool with him though. He was pretty cool. I'm really good at giving that vibe of like, I'm not about that bullshit, pretty much. Like, I'm really good with that. Like, I don't let them cross the line at all. Like, I'm not that girl who, like, when they tell them or they try to mess with her, like, no, I'm not that. I'm not her. If they do something disrespectful to me or something, I'll be like,
what, you want to fight? You want me punched in the face? I'll fuck you up.
You weren't raised right and it shows. Let me teach you some manners, boy. People tell me this all the time. Like, I have a strong personality. I've even been told that I'm pretty intimidating. I don't understand why.
Honestly. Like, I don't consider myself intimidating in shape or form.
But that's how people see me, and I can't change that. You know, whatever. It's fine. I even got a comment from a customer. Well, the customer made the comment to one of my coworkers at Super Burgers. She was like, hey, that girl right there, she's actually pretty cool, huh? And my coworker's like, who, Maria? And she's like, yeah, her. She goes, yeah, she's really nice. Why? And he goes, oh, it's because, like, you know, like, when we arrived, like, her face, man, she just looked like she was just like, I don't know. I heard my coworker saying my name, like, what? And then she told me, you know, what the customer said, and the customer was just like, you know, the lady was just like, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, I just have a dog face, like, don't. I'm pretty nice though. Starts like, she just leaves laughing. Like, I can't judge them because I judge the book by its cover. I do all the time. That's something I'm not gonna change because you know what? Most of the time I'm right. I'll get vibes from people and stuff like that, and most of the time I'm right. And sometimes, like 98% of the time I'm right. 1%, well, we'll go with the 0.5% I'm not. But that other 0.5%, we'll give it to the ones that just when I thought I might be wrong, boom. Like, I told you there was something wrong with that video. I told you. I'm pretty sensitive when it comes to vibes. If you're in a bad mood, I'll sense that. And either I'll get away from you, or I'll drop you for the day, or you'll transpire that to me, and now I'm in a bad mood. Now I'm feeling some type of way. Like, I don't know what they did to you, but it's like they did it to me, and now it's personal. Who we gotta fuck up? Just kidding, I'm not a fighter, you guys. In fact, I've never gotten in a fight before. Nope. Other than professionally, when I used to be in boxing, I was gonna, which is gonna be another story time, I was gonna get in a fight, but I've never gotten in a fight before. I was such a goody good girl and a pushover too, so I never got in a fight. You know how people that were bullied said that, oh, like they don't regret handling things the way they handle them, like by staying quiet or just getting away from them or telling on them. How like they're like, oh, I don't regret it because like that made me into a better person and I'm okay now. Y'all, when I tell you I regret not giving some ass whoopings, like I should have whooped ass, y'all. Like I should have whooped some ass. Like when I tell you, I do regret it. I regret not whooping some ass, and that's something. If you're new to my channel, I'm probably giving you like the worst impression of me, but you know what? Tired of acting like someone I'm not. Like, notice that a lot of my old videos, that's not me. Like, I'm not that like put together calm person. Like, I don't pop off, and I'm pretty good with keeping my cool, but like I don't stay quiet. Let me tell you, I got a lot to say. And I don't know, I feel like in my previous videos, I pull off as this like super sweet, like nice person. I'm nice and all, but like I'm not like that cheesy. Well, I could be cheesy, I can. But it's rare. But if I ever am, it's because you're truly special to me. Explains why I was cheesy with you guys. But okay. Second day at this job, right? And so the second day I came in the morning because usually at Super Burgers, which was my main job, I would go in the afternoon. I mentioned before one of my previous videos where I told you guys when my coworker got hit with the burger and I got a ketchup bottle thrown at me. If you guys haven't watched that, go over and watch it. But I really worked the afternoon shifts there. Like I didn't work the morning shifts. The only time I worked the morning shifts was on a Monday. But for the rest of the days, like I would go in at 2 or 3 o'clock. So at this other little restaurant, I worked in the mornings. I usually work from 8 to 1:30ish or 8 to 2 depending on what time I went in my other job. Because like the bosses from there really want to keep me there longer. So I was like, I just need you guys to give me half an hour before I start my other job because I had to change. Like I had to change to my other uniform and then walk it, you know? So like I just need you guys to give me at least like 20-30 minutes. Like exploit me as much as you want, but give me about 20 minutes. I can change fast and like book it, you know? And so my bosses liked me there too. They were cool with me working at Super Burgers, and they had to because honestly Super Burgers was my main job. But like they weren't competitors, but like they knew about each other. It's not like McDonald's and Jack in the Box where they're like, oh, or Burger King, they knew about each other. We'll give it a name. We'll call it Jay's Burgers, okay? So I start my morning shift at Jay's Burgers. Oh my god, I remember how we heard about this job now. Oh my god. So we had this cook who was working at Jay's Burgers originally and then went to get a job at Super Burgers. I just remember that right now because I just remembered him that he was in the morning there when I went into my morning shift at Jay's Burgers, and then he had an afternoon shift at Super Burgers. That's how we heard about that job. So my other two coworkers joined and then I joined. So I started my morning shift, right, you guys? And this guy, like, you know right away when you go in, like, you start feeling all kinds of vibes. Like, you feel already weird because it is, like, you're the new one. And, like, all the attention's on you because they're watching you to see what you're about and if you work right. And this guy, you guys, like, I have a standoffish vibe. Oh, Snowy, you want to get out? You want to go pee or what? You want to get out, Snowy? You're going to get out, you're not going to come back. Yeah, well, you made your choice, so. I have a standoffish like vibe, you guys. Like honestly, like I'm just very serious and quiet the whole time, but it's because the whole time I'm analyzing and studying everything and everyone. Like I want to see what the environment's about, I want to see what everyone's about, I want to see what the kind of shit they say, I want to see what kind of people I be around with. If I overhear them talking shit about each other, about other employees, like I want to know. The whole time I'm quiet and to myself, but because I'm analyzing everyone and everything there. And so I could come off as standoffish sometimes, and I know that. I'm aware of that, and I don't get offended if anybody ever tells me, like, girl, I thought you were a bitch. Like, I don't get offended, because, like, I know I look like one, you know? One piece of advice that I heard from somebody that stuck with me is that you gotta know and accept what, who, and what you're about so that you can know, so that somebody ever tells you, like, you don't get offended. And that piece of advice really helped me with my physical appearance, because like, you're overweight like me, and you're constantly working on yourself, on your journey, trying to lose weight, trying to get back on track, healthy or whatever. You're on denial that this is you, like this is you right now, you know. You're on denial, and you don't want to think about it because you want to think about how you're gonna be, how you're gonna look once you're in your healthy weight. Maybe not so much on denial, but like not so accepting and focusing on what you are currently, but what you're gonna become. Once I accepted, like, okay, I'm currently overweight, I'm currently fat. One of the first things that I get attacked on social media is that, my appearance. It was something that made me like self-conscious about, like, oh god, like, yes I am, like, you know, like something that made me feel bad because like I knew it was true, but like I didn't want to accept it. Once I did accept it, like, okay, so I looked at myself in the mirror, I'm like, okay, this is you now. You're working on yourself, but you're gonna become what you want to be. Once I accepted that, anytime anybody ever comments that, I'll be like, yeah, I am, man, what? And you're a boy, and or you're a girl. Okay, so what? And so it's true. Once you accept what you are, what you look like, or whatever it is that you don't like about yourself or your body, once you accept that it's there, like, just accept it. Sure, you want to work on it and change it, but accept that it's there. Once you accept it, somebody ever tells you, oh, you're this or that, like, it's not gonna offend you, because you're like, yeah, I am, like, anybody ever approaches you like,
You look like a bitch,
you're gonna be like,
It's true. It's true. I really look like one. I really am.
which is not cool, because like, people are constantly working on themselves and become a better version of themselves. So if somebody's like calling them out like that, like, it's not cool. But then again, this is why you gotta be cool with who and what you are. Anyways, this guy had like this rude, standoffish attitude towards me, and it's like, it was the first time I ever met him. When they were introducing me to everyone, like, everyone was so nice except him. Like, it's totally cool if you don't like me, that's fine. But when somebody says that they don't like somebody, it's gotta be because you must know them already, right? Like, you can't just meet somebody and be like, I don't like them. Because the first thing they're gonna be like, oh, why? What did they do to you? And they're like, oh, no, nothing. I don't really know her, but I don't like her. You're gonna look stupid. Like, you're gonna look like you're just a shady bitch, you know? Now, that's really different from saying, I don't like her vibe. Like, there's something about her or his vibe, I don't like it. There's something off about them. Like, I don't know, something about the way she talks to people, something about the way he looks at people, like, something about it, I don't like it. You can sense vibes from people, but because they give you a bad vibe, you can't just say that you just dislike him. The attitude he had towards me, it's like, if I was the person he disliked the most ever in his life, I can't even explain. It's been like, whatever, you can't be everyone's cup of tea, and some people are just lame like that. They just decide to dislike somebody without actually knowing them. So it's like, some people are just lame like that. You kind of just have to like accept that too, and just move on, you know? I wasn't there to make friends, you guys. I was there to make bank. Like, I was trying to get out of a situation here. I don't give a crap. I could care less if the whole restaurant didn't like me. As long as I went home with that extra paycheck, I could care less. But like, it didn't stop there. It didn't just stop in dirty looks. It didn't just stop in him laughing at me. I was new, and there was things I didn't know, and I would hear him like kind of giggling, and I was just like trying to keep my cool, because I was new at that job, and I needed to pretty much know my ground. Like, I needed to know what I can get away with, what I can do. Because if somebody wants to play dirty, I could play dirty too, but like, I need to know what I can get away with. Like, when I was in sports, you know, when I used to play water polo, every time we went to compete, there was always like different refs, right? New refs. I needed to get to know the ref. Like, I would study the ref, and I would pay attention what we can get away with and what we could not. That's pretty much how it is. Like, you gotta get to know your surroundings, the people, and how dirty they can play, and how much you can get away with if you decide to play their game. So I was letting him. But in my mind, he was already on my bad side. Like, I already knew I was gonna get him back somehow. And trust me, I've grown a lot from that. Like when I was younger, you guys, you couldn't do anything to me. Like, I will not stay with anything. Like, anything that was done to me, oh, I'll get them back real quick. Sooner or later, more sooner than later. So he was acting like a jerk with me because I was a newbie or whatever, right? He would give me a hard time. It came to a point, because like I said, remember I told you, we wrote out the orders, right? And so like, if they didn't want onions, like, we would put an O and like cross the O, which meant like no onions. I have to admit, like, I have very sloppy doctor's writing. My writing is like in between cursive and like regular writing. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and act like, oh, my writing was like super neat and everything, like everything was to be understood. But that guy, let's give him a name, you guys. Let's name him Ray. Oh shit, blending skills with the finger, okay. So I put in my ticket. It was like my first order on my own. One of the girls that was training me, she was shadowing me all the time. So this was like my first order on my own, right? So as soon as I put the ticket up, okay, like, mind you, there was 2 cooks, and Ray was like the one that was right next to us, like the ones putting the ticket up, because we had to put the ticket on this top thing they had. When I put the ticket, like he was like right there, like I almost had to like hover over him, so like he knew it was me the one that put the ticket. So he was reading the ticket or whatever, supposedly. He couldn't really understand what I wrote. He couldn't understand like the minus onions, whatever. Everyone knows what a negative and a letter means. Come on. Especially because he was way older than me. Like, I know that wasn't the first restaurant he ever worked in. He looked like he was like 35, you guys. I was like 22. Like, I know that wasn't his first restaurant job. Like, to know what a goddamn negative O meant. But because he wanted to try me and start shit with me, of course, he had to do the most. And instead of asking me what that said, he asked the other waitress. He's like,
what does that say?
Like, all stupid. Like, and she was like, no onions. And she looks at me, she goes, right, Maria? That means no onions? I'm like, oh yeah, that's no onions. And instead of talking to me, he tells her.
Tell her that next time she needs to write an O with the line crossing it.
And Delilah was about to tell me. And I was like, I heard him. Hello guys, future Maria popping in from the future. I just said that. I just want to add real quick. It's kind of one of those situations with, like, caught them off guard for the fact that I was being so soft-spoken, so quiet, so to myself. And all of a sudden, like, this dude felt like he could disrespect me because I most likely not will take it, since he probably thought I was a softie or something. That's the demeanor I was trying to give. So once he tried me, I was like,
yes, bitch, I got a voice, and I'm loud. My name is Maria. M-A-R-I to the motherfucking A, okay?
try me. I will smack your ass. Whew, just thinking about how he treated me got me hot. Should have whipped his ass. Like, he just thought I was gonna take it. Bitch, you thought. So cute. Like, oh, so you want to play stupid? Okay, cool. We can play stupid. Like, no problem. We can play stupid. Like,
Want to be stupid? I can play stupid. You want to be stupid? I can play stupid. Doy.
so another customer walks up to order, right? And of course, I'm like, I'm gonna take this one. And so I'm getting my practice and whatever, you know, because I need to learn this shit. Because what I didn't know is that these people were really irresponsible, and they would actually leave only one person attending, drive-through, cashier, and patio. It got to a point where I was literally alone for 4 hours on my own, you guys. You guys can only imagine. And on a weekend, you guys have no idea. Like, I was new, still learning the system, barely getting the hang of it, and I was alone. But let me tell you something, I pulled it through because that's how much of a badass worker I am, because I give it my all, you guys. It could be just me serving tacos, wiping the damn tables, but I will give it my all. Those are gonna be the cleanest, most shiny tables you're ever gonna see in your life. They're gonna be squeaky clean because I clean them. I was very committed. But I am very committed until the bosses decide to start with their bullshit with me. Trust me, then I become a slacker. Because if I'm a really good worker for you, I need that same energy. I need you to be that same great boss. You gotta meet me halfway. Because don't come and try to bullshit me out. And so I take the customer's order, right? Shit. It's okay, just pretend it's not there, okay? And so I wrote it, you guys. I charged it or whatever, and I put the ticket up, right? And I saw Ray studying the goddamn ticket. I don't know what the hell was to be studied about it, but he was studying the goddamn ticket, right? Acting all stupid like he couldn't fucking read. All of a sudden, he becomes illiterate, right? So I see him, right? He's like doing one of these, like... As he's doing that, I'm sneakily walking right behind him. Next thing, I'm right behind him, right? And he's doing this, like, oh, what is that? I'm right here, like, right in back of his neck, like, right behind him. I'm surprised he didn't feel my breathing because I was, like, right behind him, like, right here. He's, like, right there all calmly, like, supposedly, like, not understanding what the hell I wrote. And I said, in Spanish, because they only spoke Spanish there. And I said, are you able to read it or should I sound that out for you? And he just flinched. He just did, like, one of these. He goes,
oh, no, it's good, it's good.
Like, I caught that man off guard. And he was like, oh, no, it's good, it's good. Like, I can read it. Good. Let me know if you don't understand. I'll sound it out for you. And then just to be stupid, just because I wanted to let him know that, like, I wasn't going to be the one that he was going to be mocking. Yes, I was new and I was nervous, but I wasn't like, you're going to push me over kind of nervous. So I was like, let me know if you don't understand it. I can explain it to you with apples and everything. And if you need me to sound it off, let me know too. And like in English, it doesn't sound like as like crucial, but in Spanish, you guys, we have a way of expressing ourselves in Spanish. Like, it can sound very rude and very like, I think you're stupid kind of vibe. And after that, and then like the cook next to him was like laughing at him because like the cook knew. Well, if you wanted to play, that's all you had to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to be dumb over here? Like, that's all you gotta say, you know? Think you're cool and sleek until you find somebody that exposes how stupid you really are. You know, how stupid you be looking. Just don't do that shit, you know? You don't mock people because they're learning, because unlike you, haven't been working at a restaurant for 20,000 years of their life like you. Got me all the way messed up. I leave, right? And I knew they were going to be talking about it. I knew they were going to mock him. Like, I just knew because, like, everyone was quiet. I just bought these highlighters and bronzers and blushes from Kylie Cosmetics. This is the first time I'm trying them. I bought these before for my little sister-in-law, my husband's little sister. I bought them for Christmas and they look really cute. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna get some, you know, sometime. And they went on sale for $8. So I was like, ooh, got me some of those. I like how like it's black, but it's like, it's pink. Pretty much describes how a lot of us are. Like, we be looking hard, you know, but like inside of us, there's that little princess. I'm not a princess at all. Honestly, like pink was one of my least favorite colors. Like it was something that's like, okay, like that's totally not me. But like that's probably like the tomboy in me. I was a tomboy slash rocker when I was in high school. So of course pink is not gonna be my color. They're so pretty. Like something about the packaging, I don't know, it's so pretty. There's a blush and bronzer I also got. Next day I come in and Ray is actually like, I think he was supposed to come in but like he didn't. I don't know, something like happened because he was married, by the way. Keep that in mind. He was married, okay? They all were. These are the Lea Faith Cosmetics lashes in Money Magnet. The packaging is super cute and the lashes are freaking amazing, you guys. I love them. I love them. They're really pretty. I've actually been wanting to use these, but like, I don't know. I have been stuck on those Ioni lashes. I got a whole bunch of them. Like, let's see if you guys can see it. Dude, this angle is so awkward. But do you see that pink like see-through bag over there? It's just full of like lashes. Like I bought a whole bunch of these and they're freaking amazing. I'm gonna leave her info down below because she has so many amazing things. And she just came out with like her own healthy like butters, like guilt-free butters. I think she has like vegan options and everything. So if you like snacking like me, snacks are life. And if they're guilt-free, yes ma'am. Yes ma'am, please. Anyway, so I come into my shift, right, again, and like they're talking, like he's not there, so they're like talking about it. And like the coworker that was working there and with us, the guy that I told you guys about, as soon as I came in, he straight up said, like, I heard you and Ray were fighting. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, like we heard that you guys were fighting. I'm like, I wasn't fighting anyone. I wasn't fighting with him. He just seemed to not understand what I was writing on the ticket. So I was just asking him if he was okay. He understood what I was writing, you know, like nobody was fighting with him. What you mean fighting with him? Who was fighting with him? I wasn't fighting with him. I would never. I would never. And like later I find out that this man actually had a crush on Ray. So like Ray was his everything. He did kind of get catty with me and I was like, bitch, do not, because I'm not the one, okay? I put his ass in his place and I'll put your old ass place in your place. Your old ass in your place. He was older than all of us. He was like, I don't know, close to his 60s. Like, you're not about to fight someone in their 20s for some D that is already taken, by the way, with kids and all. So stop it. Get some help. All right, I'm gonna go in. Oh, Tequila 10. Okay, I like that name. Tequila 10. Ay, doña. Of course, my mom has to be blowing her nose right now. That's pretty. You can even use this as a blush. It has kind of like a peachy hue. I also get, because I don't know, I feel like I can use this as a blush. This is Tanned and Gorgeous. There's some like brown bronzers that you can use as blush and they look like a pretty beautiful mocha, and I like those. Why I like brown blush, it's just a thing. That's why I created my own blush, remember? So anyways, he starts telling me that he heard I was fighting his mans. And I say his mans because like one of the girls there told me, he's like, oh yeah, like that's his crush. And I'm like, oh wow. And that explains, because I remember I got inside the fridge because I needed to like refill the salsas or something like that. Like I remember I went in there looking for like the tubs, and then like Ray went in there looking for I don't know what, and then homeboy over here, coworker, comes over right away and like starts saying some shit like, oh, what you guys doing in there? So some bullshit like that. I was like, what you mean what we're doing here? Like, I'm here for the salsa tubs. Do you know where they're at? Since you're here over here, like the metiche, you know, like do you know where they're at? And then Ray's like, oh, you should have told me. Yeah, they're right here. Let me help you with them, this and that. And then like homeboy over here was just looking at us sideways, and I'm like, what is wrong with him? And at that time I didn't know, you know, and I was like, what is wrong with him? You're at your workplace. This is not the place, and I'm not the one. So like the rest of the coworkers, they were like just laughing. They're like, oh my god, that's so good that you told him right there, because he likes to punk people and this and that. I'm like, well, it seems like our personalities are crashing because he likes to punk people and I'm not the one to be punking. Like he keeps up that attitude and we're gonna end up in an argument. Like I'm not afraid of making a scene. Like I will make a scene and I will yell at him in front of everyone. Like I don't care. I'm just here to try to make a check. I don't understand why you gotta be so rude, especially to a newbie. Like you don't do that. Like if you see them doing something wrong, you don't laugh at them. You help them. You don't laugh at people and like mock them. What's wrong with you? Like, are you freaking out of high school yet or not? Especially with his grown ass, you guys. Because, like, he was, like, what, 15 years older than me? Like, come on, get out of here with that. Ooh, this is a pretty shade. On the website, it looked a little more brown, but it's okay. It's like a very, very pale peach, and I like those colors. Like when they're really pale, it looks pinker on camera, but it's not that pink. It's more on the, it's actually more of a peach. I love peaches with green eyeshadow. Well, that's really pretty. So I go to my second job, right? Which is Super Burgers, which is actually my first job, but it's my second shift, you know, of the day. My coworker that also works at Jay's Burgers tells me like, oh girl, I heard you and Ray got into it, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, we didn't get into it. Why is everyone saying like we got into it? We didn't get into it. It wasn't like a back and forth thing. It was more like he made indirect comment. I just straight up asked him if he didn't understand my writing, let me know and I'll sound it out for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like he's having trouble comprehending my writing. They're making it seem like we got into it, like it was a back and forth thing. There was no back and forth thing. There was just Maria going straight up and asking him and he had a problem reading my writing. What you mean you heard we got into it? What you mean? I'm going with Cheers Darling by Kylie Cosmetics too. So next day I go into Jay's Burgers, my first shift, which is in the morning, right? And Ray was there. And he was like starting to act cool, and he actually apologized. He was like, hey, the other day, you know, that wasn't cool. I just want to say I'm sorry. We get really busy here, and it's just kind of like, it's frustrating having a new V, blah, blah, blah. Like, he starts telling me this stuff. It was kind of like one of those, like, I'm sorry, but like, it was your fault kind of thing. Like, it was like, oh, like, I'm sorry I acted this way, but like, you were the problem kind of thing. So I was like, okay, so I'll pretend to accept your half-ass sorry. And I was just like, well, it's fine. Just next time I appreciate it. He actually asked me and not pretend like I'm not there, and then you ask my coworker when clearly the ticket was made by me. So I really appreciate if you acknowledge me and you ask me whatever your problem is. Like, I honestly didn't understand why you were asking my coworker when clearly the order was taken by me. That's something I didn't appreciate, but I accept your apology. I feel like with that, I left some tension between us. But this man, you guys, as a woman, and also if I have male watchers, you can tell when somebody has like this different vibe towards you. Like when somebody's being like that, you know, like when you were little and you were picked on because they most likely did not had a crush on you, but like they didn't know how to express themselves, so they thought that being rude was gonna get your attention in the right way. This man was like, I got that vibe from this man, and there was something about this man, and I wasn't wrong, you guys, because remember when I was like making salsas, because like we had to fill like these little 2-ounce cups of salsas like ready to go for customers, you know, whatever. There was like this plastic see-through thing on the side wall of the counter, right? And that's what we were like making salsas, filling up, ranch, whatever. Even though it was see-through, there was a glare and there was a reflection. And this man, you guys, would stare so much, mostly at my ass, but he was staring. And I specifically remember one time when I was doing that, I was trying to go as fast as I can, and I glared over because by this time this man had me like self-conscious that he was just staring, because it got to a point where it started getting like a little, like not uncomfortable, but kind of like I noticed it. So it's like you want to be sure of what you're seeing so that if you pop off, like you got a reason why, you know, kind of thing. Like you're sure of what you're doing. So this man, I caught him staring at my ass, and then I don't know what he said to this one other cook. That cook actually like admitted that he had a crush on me in the beginning, but then he knew I was married, so like he didn't. He was married too though. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but he's like, oh, I knew you were married. And it's like, and if it wasn't, what? Like you were gonna try to like have like a little side relationship besides the fact like being married? Like what's wrong with you? What is wrong with these people? Anyways, like Ray said something to this cook, and then they both look at my ass, and then they kind of said something and they kind of giggled. So I was like, okay, that's it, bitch. And it's one of those things where like it's just like little you against these two grown-ass men, you know. And it's like when something becomes like more sexual, I don't know why it's like harder to speak out, rather when it's something so simple like, oh, like you're mocking me or something like that. When it's something sexual, I don't know, there's like this automatic guilt and embarrassment that you feel that kind of stops you and kind of makes you overthink things. It even gets to a point where you start thinking, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe like I'm just seeing things, maybe like I don't know, like especially if your self-esteem is not all there. Like what if I'm just thinking like, you know, and I don't know. I should have tried this concealer by Kylie Cosmetics. Guys, I bought so many. This is like a whole stack of new stuff, you guys. Okay, this is like a whole bunch of stuff, mostly lip products. This is a whole bunch of stuff, okay, just mostly lip products though. But I wanted to try this new Kylie concealer. It was $5, you guys. It was on sale for $5, and I wanted to try it, and I totally forgot about it. I got some of her glosses too because I wanted to try her glosses, which I did. What is, oh, I also had this ColourPop concealer, you guys. Come on. I also bought this Juvia skin primer, but it was too dark. Like I got shade 2, and it oxidizes a little darker, so like I could work with it, but like I just rather get the lighter one. Got these Milani lip glosses too, which I haven't opened. Like, I'm trying to see which one I want to wear. Okay, I think I'm gonna wear this one. These are lipsticks from Revolution. They're really cute. They have like these lips and it has like the color that it is. So I was so annoyed, you guys. Something in me just switched and I was like, I'm not gonna let you get away with it. Like, I'm gonna make you look so stupid and you're gonna feel so stupid. My goal was just to make him look stupid. I don't know, I can't explain to you. Again, I'm not proud of this. I'm not proud of this feeling. I'm not proud of the fact that I feel this way when my little feelings are hurt. I usually let karma handle things because it takes energy out of you. Now remember, at this time I was 22. I was Karma, bitch. My middle name is Carmen. Carmen and Karma sound pretty similar, bitch. Karma who? I even vividly remember, you guys, watching him. I was like outside and cleaning a table when I was coming back, and I was coming back. I remember I was like watching him, like just watching him. I can't explain to you, like kind of like when the lion is on the hunt and they're just watching the zebra and they're like watching its every move and they're like waiting for the moment to just I remember that, like I was walking back and I had my eyes fixed on him, but he was working, like he was just like all busy, whatever, doing this and that, and then his back was facing me too. So I remember like I was coming, like I was walking towards him, going back into the counter, and I was watching him. In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna get you. I don't know how I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna make you look so stupid. And I knew I could because I knew this man had a crush on me, like I can tell. So I started acting super nice. Like, I don't know exactly what the hell I was trying to do, but I just knew that I wanted to be petty and I was just gonna get him back. I don't know how, but I was just gonna do it. And I knew that I had to get on his good side and be super friendly to him and super nice and see where that gets me. It wasn't my job to do it, but like they had like the little like bins of like lettuce and all the stuff that they need to prep whatever. And I was like, oh, I have free time. Like, do you need any lettuce? Do you need me to fill anything for you? Like, I can fill it for you. He's like, oh no, we can do it later. It's like, oh, are you sure? Because like I'm done with my work. Like, I can help you. Like, it's cool, you know. And he's like, sure, like if you don't mind, like go get me some tomatoes, you know, whatever. So I go to the back and I grab tomatoes. Like, you need anything else, like you let me know, you know, like I'm done with my stuff. I know you guys get busy, like I see you, you know, you're so busy and this and that. Like I remember like I, you know, I was warming him up or whatever. He starts making conversation with me. He's like, so are you married? I told you he was interested. And at the time I wasn't married to my husband yet. Like I had a goal here, you get me? Like I had a goal. I wasn't legally married, so I wasn't lying. So I was like, we're not legally married, but we live together. He's like, oh, you guys have kids? I'm like, yeah, I have kids. So you have kids? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, are you married? He's like, no, I'm not married. Like he just did like, he goes, no, I'm not married. He goes, but yeah, I do have kids with her. Same thing. He goes, I'm living with her. He was married, but he thought he was playing me. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you know, like nowadays, that's just a thing, you know, like nobody really marries anyone because you just never know, you know, like you just never know, you know. And he's like, yeah, he goes, I feel the same way. You're like, oh, how many kids do you have? I think he had like 2, a boy and a girl. And I was like, oh, I have this little boy. At the time, my baby was like, he was about 3 years old. He's 8 now. And I remember like on my screen, I had my baby with like the biggest smile ever. Like he had like this wide smile, you know, like those baby smiles. And like he looks so beautiful. Like even my boss from my other job, like from Superbirds, like it made him smile wide because my boss loves kids. So yeah, like not because he's my son, but he looked really cute in that picture. Oh, he goes, oh, you got kids? I'm like, yeah. And I even went like as far as like, oh look, this is him, this is my baby, you know, I love him. He goes, oh, he's so cute. I was starting to get on his soft side, but like in my mind I'm like, now that I look at it, it's kind of sad because it's like I was being this like really genuine person, but I had a mindset. And it sucks, like it sucks when somebody can be like that, honestly. But this is why you have to be careful. Like you have to be careful on who you mock and what you say to people, because you just never know what goes through their mind and then they'll get you back. I've grown and I've learned from that immaturity I had at the time. Like I was 22, but again, this is why you gotta be careful because you just never know. He's telling me about his kids and then we're talking, you know, like it's low already. It gives us time to talk. Right away, he starts going to a personal level. Now, I don't know what's about me. Like this is something that everyone does. I don't know what is about me, but people open up to me. Like they do. Anything you ever tell me, I will take to my grave. And there's a lot of things he shared with me. I'm not gonna say I'm here on camera because even though my intention was to get him back at that time, like it's stuff that he confided in me and I will not blur out because that's stuff that he told me. He shared with me. He had a lot going on, but I can tell he wasn't a sweet peach either. Just the fact that he was trying to talk to another woman, a way younger woman than the one he had while he was married with kids, pretty much told me everything about him. I don't care what your situation is. You don't try to build a relationship with anyone having one. Like you do not like try to build something so that You can have a motive and gain courage to leave that. Like, you just don't do that. You do things the right way. You let them know that it's not working out, and you grow out of that, and you get out of that, and then you can move on. But you just don't do that shit. It's just shit you don't do. You want to mess around, that's on you, but you just don't do that to people, period. Okay? It started to pick up again. It started to get a little busy. He said something like,
You'll understand. I have a feeling that you and I are going to get along really well, and that I'm going to tell you a lot of things. There's a lot I want to tell you.
and it's like, dude, like, in his head, he already pictured us like alone, going out or whatever, and him telling me about his life or whatever, which, not that I didn't care, but he wasn't on my good side. And he punked me, and he mocked me, and he laughed at me, and he even sexualized me. And I don't know what sexual comments he might have made to that cook, but it happened, and that wasn't out of my head. And if I was ever a quiet, insecure pushover, at that point in my life, there was nothing left of that little quiet pushover I was when I was a teenager. There's nothing left. That was done. As soon as I turned to a mother, that was done. Like, I can't explain the switch in me, but that was no longer in existence. Whatever that was, that person no longer existed in me. And albeit, it's not so much that I was hurt, it's he hurt my ego. Like, he hurt my pride. I remember I was like, oh yeah, you know, whenever you want to talk, it's cool, you know. Right now I don't have a lot of free time. Like, I have 2 jobs. Like, honestly, my intention was really never to go out with this guy ever. But like, I feel like how I had my mindset at the time, I feel like if it took that, like, I would have gone out with him. He goes, yeah, you have another job, huh? I'm like, yeah, from here, I'm just gonna walk there, you know, this and that. He started to be like nice and like kind of caring towards me. He was like, oh, it must be tough for you, and then you don't have a car, you said, right? I'm like, yeah, this is why I'm working hard to get another car, you know, but meanwhile I have to book it over there. And then, like, I don't know, it just clicked in my head. I'm like, I need to do this, but I need to do this like quick and easy and sleek too. Being dramatic that makes it seem like, oh dude, like, she did you dirty. The cleanest way to do this kind of crap is, it's your idea and you're the one behind it, but you make them think it's their idea and that they're the ones who made the decision, and you're pretty much just, they're like, oh, what? I never told you that, you know? You get what I'm saying? Because you want to do whatever you want to do, but at the end of the day, you want to be able to do this. You know, like, you want to be able to just wash your hands. And so I told them, oh yeah, you know what would be really nice? Starbucks, dude. Like, yeah, like Starbucks, like, these little energy drinks aren't doing anything for me. Dude, if I had my car, I would just go get a Starbucks real quick and then just, you know, go to my second job. I left them with that. Like, I left them with that, right? Because I know what I was doing, okay? Like, I was just, you know, getting that little idea in there, you know, let it marinate for a little bit. I went and did my thing, wiping tables, helping customers or whatever. And I'm just like here, minding my own business. And I was about to leave. And he kind of low-key says, if you want, I could drop off a Starbucks for you. And I'm like, really?
No, you don't have to do that. Like, never. Like, what? No, I can never.
He goes, yeah, no, it's cool. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. I'm over here like, okay, well, let me give you money for it. And he goes, no, like, I got you. Don't even worry about it. I'm like, oh, at least let me give you gas money. You know, like I said, I knew what I was doing. But again, the best way to do this kind of shit is like instigating a little and then making them think it's their idea. So then when it happens, boom, it's all you, bro. Like, you tripping. What you talking about? That's how they usually make us seem like we're the crazy ones. When they're doing something wrong and we call them out, they make us look crazy. They'll be like, what you talking about? Like, you're tripping, you know, like what? Like, who? Like, that was my goal. You know, so then if he ever says something or like starts to trip out, it's like, bro, you're tripping. What are you talking about? Like, I never, you know. So he said he would drop it off. He asked me what I wanted, and at that time I was really into the caramel fraps. Like, I was obsessed with caramel frappuccinos, and because it had so much sugar and caffeine, it was like, woof, it would spike me up. Like, it would spike up energy, and I needed that. You guys, because like I needed that. 2 jobs, hello. I'm like, you don't have to, but you know what? It just so happens that today I actually work on drive-thru. I was like, really? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh my god, like, yeah. It'd be perfect because, like, I don't know if he just knew people there or like he worked there for a little bit. I'm not 100%. I can't remember, but I know like he knew people, and I know that he didn't really want to like be seen a lot because, again, he was married. This was the plan. My plan was for him to drop it off. I knew my 2 co-workers that were working at Jay's Burgers were gonna be there, and I just knew the word was gonna get around, and that was my plan, you guys. I know I get nothing out of it, but that moment, it just made me feel better. Okay, it made me feel better. I had to get him back. God knows how many young girls he had ever done this to, made them feel uncomfortable like that, made them feel stupid like that, mocked them. God knows how many girls he pressured or made them think that they were nothing or something. I just had to get this guy back, okay? Like, I just had to give it to him. So he comes to drive-thru, and I'm like,
Oh my god, thank you, Ray. You're a real one. Like, you are the MVP.
One of my coworkers that worked at Super Burgers and Jay's Burgers was there. She was a Melfi person. She did not keep anything. And I knew that. And that's why I thought that day was perfect. And I just thought in that moment, I remember my other coworker being there and he goes, oh, who is he? I'm like, oh, he's a coworker from the other job. Like, he's nobody. I acted like a total biatch, you guys. I was like, just wanted to get a Starbucks out of him. Everyone knew there that I had my man, you know? So like everyone knows him too. I had brought him before. Like, I got nothing to hide, you know? I knew what I was doing. And I remember saying it aloud. I just wanted him to bring me Starbucks, like nothing else. Like, dude, thanks, but no sir. So then my coworker was like, we were cool, and she was like, oh my god, was that Ray? I'm like, yeah, there's something going on. She messed around before. I'm like, no, trust me. This guy gave me a hard time when I was new, and honestly, I'm just using him for Starbucks, girl. And again, I knew what I was doing because I knew what I was doing, okay? Again, this would have been all dropped had I not seen him looking at my body or whatever, checking me out, and then like making a comment to the cook, and then both of them laughing at it. Now, whatever he told him, I'm pretty sure it was like of sexual nature. And with his grown ass, like he knew what he was doing. Like, I was young, you guys. Like, come on, like you just don't do that shit. Well, guys, when I tell you, the guy didn't come to work for 3 days. I don't know what my coworker freaking told them. I don't know. Because she had a way to word things, and she was one of those that whatever she heard, she would add to it. Like, she would add some spice to it. And I knew that, but I didn't care. I didn't care because, again, that was my goal, to make him look really stupid. And I knew that she would take care of making it seem bigger than it really was. When all the guy did is bring me some Starbucks because I made him a comment of that I wanted Starbucks, and he offered, and he came and he gave me Starbucks. You know, like, it was nothing but that. But I knew how it looked, though. So, like, I knew that this girl will make it, like, extra spicy. I really don't know what she said to him. The guy didn't come to work for, like, 3 days. I saw him again. He was, like, serious with me and kind of, like, not standoffish, but kind of, like, limiting himself to talking to me only work-wise. Honestly, I didn't care. Clearly, he got over it because later on, he sent me, like, a friend request on Facebook. Of course, Facebook. Nobody uses Facebook anymore. Him and the other cook sent me a request, and then the other cook, too. And I accepted. I'm like, I don't care. I don't really use Facebook, so I didn't care. Like, the coworkers were asking me like, hey, is it true he took Starbucks for you? And I'm like, still, you guys over here just trying to be like nonchalant about it. Oh yeah, he knows I had my other job, and he said that I must be really tired, and I said yes. At this point, only like coffee would do it for me. He offered me to take a Starbucks, and honestly, I didn't think he was gonna do it. Like, and I'm over here instigating, like, who would go out of their way to like remember someone's favorite Starbucks order and then go to Starbucks and then drop it off at their other job's drive-through? Like, I didn't think he was gonna do it, and like, it just made it worse, you know? And they're like, oh, but you didn't ask for it, right? I'm like, oh no, I would never. Why would I ask another dude to bring me a Starbucks when I'm married, and then he's married too, right? Like, I would never. And I feel like low-key the other cook was trying to find out what did I really say or anything, but the way I explained it to them, like, I made it seem like I didn't even think he was gonna do it, like, you know, this and that. So I think like he talked to Ray, and Ray is like, oh, okay, so the other girl who's talking smack and making it seem like more than it is. Until this day, honestly, I don't know what my coworker said that he stopped coming for 3 days in a row. Like, honestly, I don't know what the hell. Later on, he brought it up and he told me, he's like, they started saying stuff like, you had me like this, and that like I was obsessed with you, and that there I was like going every day to your job bringing you Starbucks. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, who would say that for one time that you brought me Starbucks? Like, I didn't say that. He goes, oh no, I know you didn't. Like, now I know you didn't say any of that. It was your homegirl coworker over here, like, she was talking shit and this and that, and she didn't tell me anything. So I was like, I didn't say anything to anyone here. Like, and, I mean, I wasn't lying. I mean, was I lying though? I didn't say anything to them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't say. And then homegirl over here saw Ray on drive-thru. Like, I didn't even say like, oh look, it's Ray, bring me Starbucks. My coworker over here made it known that somebody was bringing me Starbucks. So then homegirl over here paid attention to who was in drive-thru, and she was like, is that Ray? I'm like, yeah, it looks like Ray. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh no, it's some other dude. Like, how many dudes look like Ray with the same car? I was like, I didn't say anything to your coworkers. He's like, yeah, but like, don't believe what they say. Like, they're saying like I'm obsessed with you and like this and that. I'm like, oh, like, don't worry about it. Like, they're just rumors. Just like you should ignore the rumors that I made you into my bitch. I'll ignore the rumors that you're obsessed with me. We're good. It's all right. Don't worry about it. It's all good. You know, people in the rumor, you know how rumory people are. People in their rumors trying to make something out of nothing when all you were trying to do was help a homegirl out, you know, like with 2 jobs, or I'm tired, trying to bring me some caffeine, you know. I want to leave it in cool terms. I got him back already. Like, I didn't need any more than that. I didn't want to leave like tension, but I also didn't want to like leave space for him to think that like there is a possibility of us going out, and that now that I know he's obsessed with me or whatever, he's crushing on me, it's like a door opening for him to just like go on and make his way, you know, or like make a move or whatever. So I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. So they don't start talking and word doesn't get out there. Like, just don't ever bring me anything again, you know. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Honestly, I didn't think you were gonna do it, that you were just bluffing. But like, yeah, just don't do it again. You don't get in trouble at home. And I'm like, I don't want to get in trouble at home, you know. My guy is 6'2", you know what I'm saying. Nobody likes to be in people's mouths. And he would like throw flirtatious comments here and there. He would like shove me around and stuff like that. Like, I knew what he was doing, but like, again, once you put a stop to it, you put a stop to it. He was like, yeah, next time, like, I won't be so obvious. I'm over here thinking like, there's not gonna be any next time. I'm not ever getting in your car and you're not ever coming to my job again. What you talking about? In my head, I'm like, oh, there ain't gonna be a next time. I'm not gonna make sure of that. And I remember like I made this comment to him, and when I made that comment to him, he stared into my eyes, and I got a hint, like he was kind of like getting a hint, like, oh, did this chick just like play me, you know? I was like, it was just like the surprise to everyone. When I got here, you're being so mean to me and you were mocking me, making fun of me, even laughing at me, you know, and like out of a sudden, next thing you know, you're taking Starbucks to me. I feel like it was just more a surprise to them, you know. I mean, think about it. Give me a hard time and you're like doing the most to make sure it's known that you dislike me, like you couldn't stand me, and then next thing you know, I got you over here taking Starbucks to me, to my other job. In that moment, like, he stared at me for a few seconds. I feel like he kind of was like, catching on to it, like kind of like a moment of like, did this chick? Nah. Because remember, it was his idea, right? He's the one that offered. I didn't ask him. He offered. I can tell that it was one of those like, did she? Nah moments. Like, I could tell. Careful. Careful what you do to people. Careful how you talk to people. Careful when you can think you can be rude or an a-hole to people, because you just never know. Like, you just never know. Think you're smart and you don't know there's a mastermind over here. So he felt really stupid, and he looked really stupid because like this grown-ass man getting played by this little 22-year-old girl, you know, like. But you guys, that was the story about the time that I made this dude into my beat. Like, yes, I made him into my dog. I made him into my dog. I made him into my dog. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed this story time slash kind of like makeup review-ish. Kind of, I really didn't talk so much about makeup, right? Only in the beginning. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys later and more to come. Bye, guys.